everyone, my name is Mitz, here back Big Trials of the Justice. So I managed to get around the glitch by oh, get this, re-downloading it again. No, I'm being serious, that's literally it. I don't know what I did to make it like the sprite for Stuart, which we now can see. Look at him, he's just there now. I don't know what the problem is, but now we can actually go on and just hopefully, please don't tell me this is an earlier version of it. I think so. Please don't tell me this is gonna go wrong. I'm sure it must have been with a boy your age. I really want to try and forget it ever happened, but seeing Lyle get stabbed like that. You're quite brave for taking the stand, telling us all you know. Salute. You make a great soldier, Stuart. Well, thanks, Mr. Hawk. I'm more into mathematics. Well, glad also as well that Mr. Hawk managed to get his eyesight checked with the core optician. But if I ever want to change a profession... Okay, enough with the sappy conversation with each other. Well, guess what? I'll say this again. Sappy conversations are my thing. I didn't get to ask a question yet, should I? Yep. You say you saw Lyle get stabbed. Can you explain that in more detail? More detail? Well, what do you mean? Well, we know you saw the suspect and you described him, but you really haven't described the victim. Oh! Oh! This is true. How were you able to tell that it was Lyle's snitch you saw, and not any other Lyle's? Well, when Lyle was stabbed, he was turned towards me. To you? Yeah, I recognized it was him when he got stabbed from behind. Yeah, this is the same one we had to present with that blood stain on. Because he was facing my direction. Yeah, bullshit. I see. If you could please amend your testimony to reflect this new information, witness? Yes, Your Honor. I was facing my direction and he was getting stabbed to death. Okay, so the whole thing of just those two small lines were just gone? Wait, what? Okay. I don't know where that came from then. Maybe that was just a scripting error. Oh boy. Okay, and also the thing is just a bit lower resolution, but it's fine. Yeah, blood. Do you see this blood you cannot see? Well, guess what? I'll be on your undoing, mister. Stuart, there's something about what you saw that doesn't quite fit. Fit? What do you mean? Not that kind of fit. Yesterday, the police tested the crime scene with some special chemicals called luminol. It's luminol, you bet! They were able to pinpoint when the victim fell. Oh, shush, you glasses wearing. I'm aware of those tests as well. If you're trying to suggest the murder didn't happen when the witness said it did. I'm doing nothing of the sort, Mr. Hawk. The murder did take place where Stuart said it did. It's just the position of the body is what's important here. The body? But there was only a puddle of blood in the ground. You can't. Yes, there was a puddle left behind, but also something else. A misshapen foot. A handprint. What? The witness isn't to be believed, and the handprint should be on the other side. But instead, the print is pointing in the direction of the assistant principal's office. Which leads me to believe that when the murder happened, Lyle and the suspect were facing away from Stuart's direction. There goes your mathematics test. Why did you bring that here to court though? Wait, you literally got your bag and you were like literally in police custody all the time. Oh, okay, makes sense. What's the meaning of this? That's what I'd like to ask the witness. Stuart, you've been lying about the murder, haven't you? Based on the lumpinol test, Lyle was stabbed facing the assistant principal's office. I think assistant principal. So being that he was in D205, Stuart could only have been seeing the murder from behind. Well, that's true, then why did the witness lie in what he saw? At his first testimony, Stuart must have wanted his second one to sound as detailed as possible. To include that he saw the face of the victim in his story. That's... If you want to sound like you know your stuff, you gotta know all the deets. Even to your own disadvantage. Like, how the fuck do you know about who my mother is? Okay, did you look at the cheat sheet? You witness, is it true? It's just you. Impressionable minds can be muddled when they learn new information. What? What are you talking about? This young man has been in school and learned a lot about the murder. Not through court proceedings or police investigations, but by school gossip. Many children knew the fact that it was Lyle who was killed. Sure must have taken what they said and applied to his memory. Also, it's a good thing to point out here is that literally since school was happening, like, yesterday, that means no one was here watching the court proceedings, so that's all, folks. Thus, a strong image of the victim's death was formed. Oh, yes, I think that's what might happened. A lot of us were talking about the murder yesterday. I guess I kind of took it in what everyone said and thought I saw Lyle's face. Of course, everyone thought it happened on D1. But what about the handprint? The foot? It was an honest mistake, so don't hold it against him. It's honest. Then again, given our testimony, things will be set right. What the? Oh, no way, no way. I'm sorry about the mistake, Mr. Wright, even though you're always right. I'll happily accept a 99% for misremembering the events that night. Give that here, I'm gonna scribble all over it. F, 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 F everywhere. I'd go as far as to give you 10%, that's just such a sneaky way out. Very well. The witness will give another testimony. Tell us what happened after the murder. I think I could do that. You smug. 2 mistakes so far, he must be nervous. The catch sure another lie. The aftermath. After the murder, Mr. Diggins went into one of the classrooms. A little later, he went outside and left the floor. I stayed in the room for a little while and waited to see what would happen. I looked outside and noticed the murder scene was being cleaned up. After that, I left for home. He went into one of the classrooms? So the defendant went into one of the rooms. This confirms what was mentioned yesterday in court. Oh, he's talking about, yeah. Now then, your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. He's talking about how Mr. Oates saw someone go into the classroom. I think this testimony will be the key to finally get things rolling. I think I know what's gonna come of it. Also, nice tie. The murder, Mr. Diggins went to one of the classrooms. It wouldn't hurt to press your buttons. Which room did he go into? He went into the one next to the one I was in, D204. Why do you suppose he did that? I guess he wanted to hide from whoever would have come by. Well, this does confirm what Mr. Oates said yesterday. Someone opened a door and must have hidden there for a while. Yeah. A while later, he went inside and left the floor. Where on the floor did he leave? He left through the double doors that led outside. He was moving like he was panicking. After committing a murder, I'm sure anyone would feel a bit on edge. Okay. This is exactly what was stated in yesterday's testimony. So what did you do after that witness? I stayed in the room for a little while and waited to see what would happen. So you definitely saw, well, quote-unquote, Mr. Oates saw you go into a classroom just like afterwards, just immediately forget about your presence to clean things up. Why'd you do that? I put a print that the custodian would still be nearby if I went outside. So I decided to wait it out until the coast was clear before I left for home. After witnessing a vicious murder, the boy was no doubt frightened. So that's why you waited in the classroom? How long did you have to stay in there for? Oh, I'd say about 10 minutes. After I waited that long, I started to head out the door. But then I saw something as I was about to leave the classroom. I looked outside and noticed the murder scene was being cleaned up. Yeah? So we're in there the whole time, and Mr. Oates just like, don't worry about the lights being on when the classrooms. That's just complete nonsense. That means nothing. The murder scene was being cleaned up? Yeah, I was really surprised to see him doing that. I mean, a murder was just committed and he had the nerve to clean that mess. He's being kind of vague here. I think I need to do some digging. Wait. You say he. Who are you talking about? Why, who else do you think I'm talking about? I'm talking about the custodian, Mr. Diggins. That's where you're wrong, Bucko. It's the murder. He came back to clean a mess he made. So the defendant cleaned up the mess after he committed the crime. Oh my god, we just leave forgetting everything? Yep, something's definitely wrong here. Sure, just made a slip up. I'm sorry to say this, but what the witness has said could not have happened. What? How so? because it could not have been the defendant who cleaned up the mess that night. So we go with a custodial card that says it was stolen. The person who actually cleaned the mess that night was the assistant principal. The fake assistant principal. Mr. Oates.
What?
The assistant principal. Yeah, I don't understand his job title either. Oh yes, I nearly forgot about that. It was literally yesterday. I'm not the least bit surprised he did. Why, Mr. Hawk with his complete eyesight just is wrong.
Wait a minute, how could you say that? It could have been Mr. Oates. You care so much for the school. You're just making things up again. Tell him, Mr. Hawk.
He's not lying, Stuart.
What?
Yesterday in court, Mr. Oates admitted he took the body and brought it down to D1. After that, he cleaned the mess in the second floor.
No way.
Yesterday's proceedings weren't told to the general public, so no one from the school knew what transpired yesterday. That is true. We talked about it with Miss Strictly. She had no idea what happened, probably because school was back in session. But why did the witness make such a mistake? I mean, he was in the hallway after the murder. It's finally come down to this. I'm sorry, Stuart. Your Honor? Yes, Mr. Wright? Today the witness has made a number of mistakes in the stand. 1. He got the description of the defendant wrong. 2. He scored the events of the murder backwards. And 3. Mistook Mr. Oates, who was cleaning up after the murder, as Mr. Diggett's. But it was dark in the hallway. Couldn't he have mistaken the defendant with the assistant principal? No. As Mr. Eyeglasses over there mentioned, it would only like ruin up the color of someone's thing. But I'm pretty sure they're starkly different. I mean, seriously, one has a hat and one doesn't. I mean, bleh. There's a huge difference in appearance between the two. There's no way you can mistake one for the other. He intentionally made up what he saw, and for what purpose, you ask? To solely accuse the defendant of murder. The witness was obviously lying, and I know why. But why would this boy lie about it what he saw that night? He's a murderer, he's too busy studying, he wanted extra credit. Obviously because he wanted extra credit. No. Extra credit for murder? The reason Stuart would lie is because he is the real murderer.
What?
Are you kidding me? I would not lie about a single hair in that blonde head of his. Order. Mr. Wright, you intended to indict the boy? Yes, Your Honor. If it wasn't Mr. Diggett's or Mr. Oates, then it had to be Stuart.
I would never.
Shush. So you like picking on kids. Well, apparently you like following them blindly. I just thought you had a high standards, Mr. Wright. Getting down and dirty with just making sure that no criminals get out of the way. I'm pretty sure that's some pretty big high standards though. I'm not trying to do anything of the sort. As it stands right now, the witness is the only one likely to kill the victim. Alright, let's recall something from yesterday, shall we? No, I'm quite sure they went through a classroom. If they'd gone out through the outside door, I would have seen them through outside the window. The suspect's fleeing the crime scene? Are you saying that because like, the street lamps outside, that's the reason why that Stuart went back into a classroom? What is it today also to mention this as well? That's right. Now if one is going to go back into a class, we need to open the door. Well, yes, but how do the doors in the school were made to be locked even after being opened? That's weird. If Stuart went outside the room to commit the murder, how did he get back in the classroom? He certainly doesn't have a custodian's key to get in. Ah, I see. He got me again. But we do have a problem. How did Stuart get back into this room if he didn't have any school keys? You know, we could easily solve this by asking Mr. the Oates if, like, you know, did the suspect or, like, you know, the culprit just, like, you know, fumble with a door or, you know, something like that, like, you know, keys and all that. Well, Nick, do we have any evidence to help figure this out? No, I don't think we do. There must be something, though. Maybe there's something in that room. Well, Mr. Wright, can you explain how the boy got back in the classroom? I don't have any evidence, but we can recall the inside D205. There may be something that the witness used to get back in. Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, look at that. What's this? I don't know what this is. What is that? Inside the room, there is a doorstop. Doorstop. A doorstop? A small peg used to hold the door open. Stuart went outside to commit the murder and needed to get back in. All he needed to do was use that. And it was dark, and he just only, like, the doors just kept slightly ajar. No one would be able to see, like, tell other the wiser. You don't have any proof he did that. You don't have any proof he didn't. Besides, the assistant principal said the door is shut. Actually, he never said that the door was shut. Yeah. What? Think about it. If you took the peg and placed it where the door is shut, it would look closed, especially in a dark hallway. It would be hard to tell if the door was even cracked open. The assistant principal did say that he saw the suspect go through the door, but he never actually said it was shut beforehand. Besides that, the hallway was quite dark. It would be hard to tell. That did it. I finally managed to score a hit on Hawk. With that, I think everything is falling into place. Don't you dare. Okay, oh, it's you. Yeah, what do you want, Triccoloni? This all sounds a bit convoluted. Don't you know my job any second of the day? Literally the last case. If I was a teacher, I'd give your story a 35%, Mr. Wright. Well, guess what? You gotta make things complicated to make things deep, and that sounds pretentious. We're not in school, kid. Well, guess what? We're grading your performance now. You're basically already a D- teacher, student, lawyer, person, okay now? Wanting to get your client off the hook is one thing, but you forgot something very important when you made your accusation. Motive. Does Mr. Diggins have a motive for killing Lyle? Well, I guess there's the whole thing of, like, he was a troublemaker. Fuck me. Motive? Oh yes, that's right. Ah, the old M word rears its ugly head in this case. I don't know why you think I'd want to kill Lyle, but I can tell you that I have absolutely no reason to want to. Shush your mouth, you teenagers. Teenagers are always, have putrid minds. Without a motive, the second man cannot be considered a murderer. Yet Mr. Dickens can, okay. And so many other people as well. Will Powers, etc. My god. Yep, this is a big problem. I was definitely targeted that night, so someone was out to get him. What do we do, Nick? If Stuart has no motive, then we need to search for one. But how? Leave it to me. Your Honor, the defense would like to request the witness give another testimony. Another testimony? About what? We'd like to hear about the relationship between the victim and the witness. That shouldn't be a problem. That's what you're doing on duty, buddy buckaroo. Stuart, can you tell us about you and Lyle? Well, sure, but don't expect much. Lyle and I had nothing in common with each other. That's what for me to know and you to find out. Me to figure out. I'm mixing my metaphors. Lyle and I had absolutely nothing in common. I'm more into studies and hard work. Okay. And I heard that Lyle was nothing but an obnoxious brat. Add to that, we never even had a class together. So you see, I had no motive to want Lyle dead. It's not like I knew he was going to be in the school that night, right? There's a part of me just really wants to present that one thing just as you just mentioned that, but I gotta make sure. It sounds like the two of you didn't know each other at all. By your own words, which you could be lying. But lying on the internet? Would anyone really do that? Well, I can't speak for Lyle, but I can tell you he was a complete stranger to me. You see, Mr. Wright, there was absolutely nothing between us at all. I mean, between you and him, You don't seem convinced, Mr. Wright. I'm sure after your cross-examination, you will be. Yes, indeed. Let's have your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. No, from blue to red. Let's go. That's blue down there, and now we'll go back to red to orange. I had absolutely nothing in common. I think so. It's mostly just the the photo of just the graffiti would definitely be the motive here, I guess, something like that. In conjunction with the college brochure, but just in case. You're sure? You never even exchanged words with each other. Not at all. We may have seen each other in the hallways once or twice, but only enough to be another face in the crowd. Another face in the crowd, eh? That sure doesn't sound like they knew each other at all. I'm more into studies and hard work. Yeah, you keep telling yourself that. You really seem to pride yourself as being a smart kid. That's right.
I do have the highest grades in the school. The teachers in each class I go to are always happy to have me. There's not one test I've taken that has a lower than 100%. And now I immediately peg you as an arrogant jackass, even though I know that's not how you act so far.
Really? What sort of test have you gotten 100% on?
Let's see. Math, English, social studies, science, biology, cooking, sewing, art, Spanish, French, woodshop, tech ed, literature, writing, Japanese, daycare. How many tests has this kid taken? The fact that this school is also going under makes me really question how many programs the school has as well, so yeah. I heard that Lyle was nothing but an obnoxious brat.
How'd you know about that? How do you know about that?
Obnoxious? I don't mean to get slander the victim, but this is all what I've heard. No one had anything nice to say about him.
True, we heard a lot about the boy. Things trouble is all that he craved.
It's too bad he didn't want to turn around and become a better person. Perhaps this tragedy would have never befallen him. You're right. Things would have been better if he was a bit nicer. After that, we never had a class together. So it's mostly just a fact of proving it's another relation. You two are in the same grade, but we're never in the same class? Yeah, I can literally flip through my yearbooks right now and point out certain people I barely recognize, but I definitely say I never had a class with them, but they're my grade, yeah. Yes, that's right. I've never been in the same class with Lyle. I think they try to keep him with other kids like him.
Oh, discrimination.
I have looked into the class records and I have verified that neither of these boys have been in the same class. This makes things harder. There has to be a connection between Lyle and Stuart. So you see, I have no motive to want Lyle dead. Can you really be sure of that? Lyle was a school delinquent. Maybe he bullied you at one time.
He just had one tease at you and it's like,
no, my feelings. Stab. Okay. I have talked with the school staff yesterday about Lyle's misdeeds. He antagonized many children, but Stuart's name never came up. If Lyle didn't bother Stuart at all, this cross-examination is just a waste of time. Maybe it's something that the school staff doesn't know about. Yeah, let's go with that. Oh, that was one more statement. I thought that was... Nick, if Lyle and Stuart had nothing in common at all, there's no motive for Stuart wanting Lyle dead. Do you think we've been wrong this whole time? No, I'm sure that Stuart is the murderer. Right now, we can't prove a motive outright. What we need is a key to open up that path. I mean, the classroom doors are unlocked by doorstops, so I guess we don't need even need a key. How are you gonna do that? Don't worry. I'm sure there's some evidence to help us figure it out.
That shall.
I heard that Lyle was nothing but an obnoxious brat. Never had a class together. I had no motive to want Lyle dead. It's not like I knew he was going to be in the school that night, right? Okay, well obviously this is the big thing, but I want to be sure. You didn't know he was at the school that night? It was coincidence that he was on the same floor I was studying on. So, you see, Mr. Wright, I have nothing to do with the murder. You can't make it any clearer than that. I mean, through the fog of your goddamn glasses. I think we should stop this charade and end it here. You shush. And that's where everything goes. Okay, so we definitely have to present that note. I have no motive to want Lyle dead. Sounds like I knew he was going to be in the school that night, right? Okay, so the note. Call-out note. Note written for Lyle. Called him out to D2 to ask for a picture. This is where it ends here, folks! Stuart, I think you didn't know about Lyle was going to be on D2 before it was going to happen. Before on D2. I still love that joke. Huh? What makes you say that? Yesterday, the custodial staff were told to clean out Lyle's locker. Inside was a note written to the victim. This note right here. A note? What does it say? It says, come to the hallway on D2 around 8 PM on the 14th. I have some juicy news that'll get you into the newspaper club for sure. Lyle obviously followed the instructions in this letter. He did show up on D2 that night. I think it was the witness who wrote this letter. That note could have been written by anyone. Yeah, even though... Why don't we have handwriting analysis? What makes you so sure it was the witness who sent it to him? So sure it was the witness sent it in. The picture. Since it mentions the picture, should be fine. We bring up this now? If we keep reading the letter that has this to say, and bring the photo you took. I'll want that in exchange for the info. That photo the note is referring to is this. Yeah. He is certainly an eye for black and white. What do we have here? Why, isn't that the blue badger? Yes, look at that great old grin of a smile. It's a photograph of someone who looks like they're spraying the school's walls. You mean the graffiti up front of the school? The person who sprayed the graffiti in the walls is none other than... obviously, it's me. No. Hi, Stuart. Stuart Dentley. What is the pun for his name? I really need to know. I just really need to know. Stuart Dentley. You're the one who sprayed the walls on Thomas Lay High. Yeah. Order? But what does this photo have to do with the murder? If you're looking for a motive, then look no further. Lyle had taken a picture of the witness in this act of vandalism. Not wanting anyone to know about this picture, Stuart called out the victim. That's where it all comes together, bucko. But the victim obviously didn't have the photo on his person. What made you think the witness wanted this photograph? Recall Mr. Oates' testimony from yesterday. If I remember correctly, he was searching the body for something. It seems he was looking for something on the victim's person. As to what he was rummaging for, I do not know. So he was looking for the photo, and literally the photo is the crux of the entirety of the motive. They say he was searching for something on the body, and that something must have been the photograph. This was confirmed by the assistant principal. When Lyle read the letter, he probably didn't trust the sender. Yeah. So he left the photo in his locker. Yeah. Most likely he wanted to know what they had to offer and see if it benefited him. And with putting in the locker, then afterwards, if like he agrees to the deal, then you know, he would just open up his locker and just trade it in. It'd be that simple, since it's there at school. That makes some sense. I'm still kind of confused why the school decided not to investigate locker. Hang on! I did not draw that graffiti in the wall. You're all wrong. Witness, calm down, please. Your Honor, please listen. I did not draw that graffiti. But this picture shows... You be quiet. Why did you have to show the picture? Okay, I think I'll leave this one alone. Oh boy. I didn't draw that stupid picture on the wall. I never do something like that. You have to believe me. Short. Calm down. If you tell me what happened, really happened, we can figure this out rationally. There's nothing to tell. I didn't draw that picture. Well, that's Short. He's practically frothing in the mouth, trying to tell us that he didn't draw that graffiti. He looks really serious, Nick. I kind of want to believe him. Yeah, this thing isn't right here. Did Stuart really draw that graffiti in the wall, or what? No? Well, I guess actually thinking about it now, that Lyle, like, after seeing the whole thing with, if he manages to actually see Stuart actually drawing the graffiti, which really doesn't make sense with a college brochure, he could have just snatched, the, like, you know, the spray cans and put in his locker for other evidence, but no, that doesn't really make much sense with a college brochure. I better think about this. Stuart is really fighting us on this, more than he has before. Do you think he really didn't draw the blue badge on the wall? But Nick, this is our only motive. Stuart had to draw the picture. I'm not so sure. What? If we didn't then... Listen, Maya, I think we're going about this all wrong. My name is Mr. Wright, you know. Huh? Stuart may have not have drawn the graffiti. And if he didn't, we have to find another route to the motive. That sounds tough. Can you do it, Nick? I'm gonna have to if we're gonna finish this trial. Your Honor? What is it, Mr. Wright? Defense would like to correct itself in establishing the motive. We believe that the witness did not draw the graffiti. What's this? Why are you changing your mind? Yes, with a sudden change of heart. Moments ago, you were saying that it was the witness that vandalized the school. We did, and we apologize. But that doesn't mean we think the witness didn't kill the victim. This picture was still taken, and is the reason why Stuart killed Lyle. You truly are a heinous man, Mr. Wright. Very well. Wait, it's more heinous for me just to say, he didn't draw the graffiti, but he did kill someone, or is it more heinous for a person to do graffiti then kill someone? What? Make up your fucking mind! If the witness didn't draw the graffiti, then who did?
The only other person who likes blue spray paint and cans, and also I guess red. Well, he didn't have red, but you know, you understand what I mean. Hopefully, I wonder if he dyed his hair. The victim? Lyle Snitch? He drew the graffiti? Yes. If you really want to know who drew the badger, it was Lyle. The guy can snitch. As you've heard several times in court, Lyle's a problem child. Wait, what? That never came up before. He's a problem child? It wouldn't be very surprising if it was him who actually sprayed the walls. It may have been him, but there's no evidence that says he did. Remember, there are other delinquents in the school besides Lyle. It could have been one of them and not him. Are you sure about that, Mr. Hawk? Because I do have evidence that it was Lyle who spray painted the school walls. Spray painted the school walls. That's just the spray cans in his locker. Are those spray cans? Not spay cans, spray cans. Yes, they are. While emptying out Lyle's locker, the custodians found these cans. Notice that the color of the cans resembled that which was sprayed in the walls. But hold on a second, wait, there's no black spray can. Oh no, or green, or wait, yeah, he did have red. He did goddamn dye his own hair with his own merchandise. But I'm running out of time here on my end, so we'll ease off here. So I feel like we're gonna get to the end of this, and depending on whether or not, like, since the whole glitch thing, I'll probably like finish off the rest of this case to make sure there's no glitches on this version of you know, Pyrite in this fan case, and then in the third one go back to the other one because I really like the small details, like, you know, just like the miniature sounds. I mean, listen to this. There's no sounds. Look, there's no sounds. I miss them. I miss them so much. It's like me just like, if Makatama's like in the wrong place in the inventory, then oh boy, that's no good then, sister. But I think we'll leave up here. We'll finish off just getting short, like, you know, the guilty verdict, I guess, or just proving he did it at the very least, and getting Mr. Jacobs off the case. Oh boy, and Mr. Hawk is definitely going off the beaten path with him saying we're heinous after like all that, like Jesus. Oh boy, but what comes to it comes to it. His vision is completely terrible, and he only got it corrected just today, so I can't really blame him, can I? Nope, definitely not. So, what a fun time watches as I am playing this. We see you next time, what time may be, and I'll hope you a fantastic day.